Okay, here's how I use reports in Quicken. Just go to the reports center, and typically the ones that create like profit and loss statements or any of the reports that we create at the end of the year for the taxes that show all the income and expenses would be in banking, and then banking summary. There's lots of other categories of reports that you can do. Um, Itemized payees, which I use to create some reports for you all. But the profit and loss, I would just do a banking summary. And then here's the report for this is year to date. So everything from January 1st until the current date. Um, and then we can separate it out by quarter or by month, which is a pretty helpful way to see the spending. Um, and at the top here is all the income categories. The percentage payments are broken down by just by clinician name, and those are usually all the income categories. And then here's all the expenses. So if we've done good categorizing during the entire year, then these uh, all the transactions fall under categories. You can double click on a total for the year. Like here's the marketing line, general marketing, and see all the different transactions and the transaction date that came off our credit card. And so we spent uh, all the various marketing expenses. A lot of them are Facebook ads, which come out $2 or $3 at a time. But anyway, you can see all the detail if you just double click on the total for a month or the total for the overall total for the year. And then once you've done that, um, you can uh, see the detail. And then to get back to the full report, just hit back and you can continue editing this report. So you want to do a little customizing on these reports sometimes. As you can see at the top of each of the income and expenses is all the uncategorized expenses. So a lot of times when I'm doing the tax reports at the end of the year, I'll click on that if I haven't categorized a few things. Looks like there's only a few here. And some of these, like when I make a credit card payment, I will not categorize it because uh, it's already been categorized in the Capital One account. I've categorized all the expenses, and so we don't need to categorize the payment that we made to pay off that credit card balance each month because that would be double counting the expenses. But if you want to recategorize one of these expenses, you right click and then hit recategorize transaction, and you can move it to a different category. See all your options if you drop down. So to put it in a different category, you just click on that or create a new category. Put in the category name, or you can create a subcategory. So let's say that we wanted to create a subcategory under business expenses. And I just go down and find business expenses, which is a more general category with a lot of subcategories. The subcategories here are indented. And so we would type in the category name and make it a subcategory of whichever thing we choose and hit save, and then that transaction that you just edited or recategorized will go under a different category. Again, hit back to get to back to the full report. We'll customize it. Once we've got those uncategorized transactions put in the categories that we want, then we can take the not categorized category out of the report, and then that will no longer show up at the top because we don't need to account for it, especially at the end of the year. That's going to be confusing for the accountant. So this report is just going to be income, all the clinicians' percentage payments, and then all of our expenses. Usually at the end of the year, I don't include the member payments that we paid to the members or owners, because that would also be double counting on taxes, because as I told you, the entity is actually a pass through, so the accountant is just going to account for all the income for the business and then the expenses for the business, and that is what is going to, the profit of that or the loss of that is going to pass through to your personal taxes. And so you can pay yourselves whatever you want during the year, but we don't need to count those payments that you made to yourself twice. And if you have any questions about that, just let me know.